Yow! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another eXtelevision broadcast. We are bringing this to you live, the ESEA Open Lower Bracket Finals. Cafe Monster versus Goldman Sachs. We have, I don't know, somebody addicted to caffeine versus one of the biggest banks in the world. I don't know if that is fair whatsoever, but we will see once we get going here and how these two teams stack up against each other. I am your host, eXtine, and I am joined by one of our fantastic, wonderful friends. I'm talking about Marxist. How you doing, Marxist?
Oh, just fine, eXtine. Looking forward to watching some TF2.
Yep, without a doubt. We had some Highlander earlier. I was behind the curtain. Right now, though, we do have our man Dashner operating the camera and the production console. So big ups to him. And now we're ready for some 6v6 and process final. I love this map. Super fast pace, a lot of fun, and we usually get really good matches out of this. You think the same thing, Marxist?
Yeah, I like how it plays, especially the mid dynamic with the high flying roamer and so on. It's pretty cool. It's a little change of pace.
Well, we do got two great teams here today. Both teams obviously have been battling to survive and stay into this playoffs. Both of them knocked out by the team that is waiting in the grand finals. So that is the Arizona Iced Out Boys. Excuse me. We did get to see them play Goldman Sachs earlier. So which team will get a shot at redemption will be determined by the end of this hour-long format. First to 5, 2 30-minute halves, or to 3. And well, let's take a look at the rosters before we really get going here. We're going to start with Goldman Sachs. Now, Goldman Sachs has D-Flame and Devon on Scout. D-Flame has been around for quite a while, played in IM, has been making a big impact for Sachs, about 270 damage per minute. Devon also just killing it, second most frags for his team. Goldfish and Zigster, their soldier combo. Zigster roaming. He is a longtime friend of mine from Vancouver. Hope to meet him in person. Now, Goldfish has been doing great for this team as well. Now, Hooli, going to be their demo man. Also someone super experienced. Replaced. Got a few more.
Oh, there you go.
Few more games underneath his belt, and then Mr. Slyn going to be the medic as well, a very veteran presence, and certainly one of the minds of the game, very strategical and thinking about how to play his position. Marxist, what are your thoughts on this Goldman Sachs roster?
Yeah, I was pretty interested to see them play the first time around. You and I cast their Snakewater game. They were pretty impressive. I don't think the last on this map is going to give them as much trouble, so it should be pretty good. And I know Zigster and company can handle the early jumps and some of the mid stuff, so should be pretty good on their end.
There are some important rollouts here, but Hooli should be able to nail those, even if he's kind of newer to the team in the position. He's got to have those down. He's got a lot of games underneath his belt. Now, let's take a look at the roster for Cafe Monster. Their scouts for tonight are going to be Sentient and Clandestine PZ. I don't always think that says PC. He's actually tagged up as No One From Nowhere right now. Clandestine super experienced, the most experienced on the team with 9 seasons under his belt. Sentient has been playing great though. Crossfire and Purple Shirt, the Soldiers. Purple Shirt ended the season with a positive KD ratio, good for a roamer, while Crossfire has been holding it down. Deska, the Demo Man, is only his second ESEA season, but the 6th most damage in Open and the most frags for Demo Man in the division. So that certainly is an excellent stat. Now, their medic Novuna, who's been stepped in at the end of the season to replace Cecily, has only 2 matches played for the team this season. I always think that's a worrying sign, but you know, if he's familiar with the team and has played a bunch with the team, certainly a possibility that he could just step in and perform today. Marxist, your thoughts on the Cafe Monster roster?
Yeah, I know. Purple Shirt's pretty impressive. He can sneak in on you. It seems like he knows sort of the way to be the crafty, sneaky roamer. I should also note that I defeated Clandestine in the first inaugural TF2 history off. by 1
Ooh.
point because I knew how tall Peter the Great was, and he did not.
Wow.
And as far as Navuna goes, I think it'll probably be okay. It mainly comes when you get a new medic. It mainly comes down to like how much do you crush their self-esteem. So as long as their pocket is properly dealt with, that they should be okay.
Yeah. The medic position when you're swapping players in is kind of one of those things that, like, if you're gonna win the game anyways, then it doesn't make a difference. But if it's a super tight game or you're kind of under some duress, things could go sour. You could have some missteps, and sometimes those have really big ramifications. But I've stepped in the playoffs before. I really don't have too much full match history, but I stepped into the ESEA playoffs one time as medic, and maybe 2 games. In the first game, it was no problem, and then the second game, it was probably going to be a tough match anyways, but we weren't able to persevere. So we'll have to see how Novuna steps in today. Medic is definitely kind of a weird position in terms of your roster. Not going to totally kill all of your chemistry if you get rid of them. Also kind of depends on what the comms are like, but we got to assume that somebody else is going to be leading him around. So we do have 6v6 in here, so I imagine that we should be getting going in not too long. Early predictions, Marxist?
Things can go weirdly on process, but I felt like on Snakewater at least, Goldman Sachs was pretty strong, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it to them here, just in the pregame. But that's not a terribly informed decision. But I know Slin's got a lot of experience. Hooley does as well. He can lead things. I don't know how much Clan is doing as far as calming on Scout over there, so I'll give it to Sachs. Probably, I like saying 5-3 because that gives me a little bit of play, right?
Yeah, that sounds good. I think Sachs would be my favorite as well, but let's take a look at our players to watch for this match today. It could be the deciding factor. We got Hooley, the demo man for Sachs. We talked about, still getting settled into this role, although he has been playing great. And Deska, the demo man for Cafe Monster. I think that definitely, if Deska can prevail against Hooley, that could give his team the edge to compete in these fights, give Crossfire and Purple Shirts the openings that they need, as well as allowing Sentient and Clandestine to work the flanks, finish off kills, and spit some damage out. So certainly the Demo Man battle going to be an important one to watch here tonight.
And especially in the opening phases, too, of mids, it really comes down to how well the demos sort of exchange with each other, or if they get 1-degged by a roamer flying over them.
Yeah, the middle fights are pretty intense here, and there's some super quick rollouts. We'll see the super aggressive roamer rollouts, where they try to steal the health pack of the opposing side, or the demo men just being super speedy. So certainly those opening engagements and then how the middle fleshes out afterwards will be something to follow. And I do believe that they have gone live, so we should be just a minute and a half away. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We got a great crowd of 150 tuned in at the moment. And, well, it's been a great day for gaming so far. E3, I don't know, maybe not so much great news. I'm waiting for that Nintendo conference tomorrow.
Yeah,
personally,
I haven't checked out too much. I saw the E3 preview on like IGN, but I don't know that there's a lot I'm super excited for.
Yeah, I think people rightfully are pretty excited about Star Wars Battlefront, but that was just like a non-existent trailer of it being a ways off. They showed off some, I don't know, Battlefield stuff, and then instead of shipping backwards compatibilities on consoles, they're gonna resell everybody Halo, so that's cool, I guess. That's just me. I'm just bitter. I like my games that I can play for, 8 years at a time, so that's why I love Team Fortress.
I do have to admit, though, the Witcher 3 from CD Projekt, probably gonna snatch that one when it comes out.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that. That's kind of horror-y, right?
It's mostly like an RPG set in this like classical Polish fantasy setting with a very James Bond-esque character.
All right, sounds good.
It's a good time.
We are waiting on some TF2 right now. We should, maybe be getting some crazy TF2 updates shortly. There was some hints, a new blog post, and, some hints of new weapons in there. Going to be interesting. I think there was the parachute weapon, which sounds kind of fun, and somebody actually rigged up kind of a working prototype on the TF2 tightrope servers. I don't think that's really going to apply too much to the competitive game, but hopefully we get some fresh weapons that might spice things up.
Yeah, it's always fun the first day of the update to just go on back to your favorite old pub map and try out the wacky new things that they've got.
Right. I remember some of the days of TF2 in the past, Backburner when it first came out, and just some of these other weapons. Immediately you're just like, really? Are you serious, Valve? But they've sorted most of that out. I just hope that we give the new weapons a chance. A lot of seasons are going to be wrapping up, so maybe that'll kind of play in the favor of everybody giving the newer stuff a shot. And hopefully we can figure out whether these, some of these new weapons that might be coming are beneficial to Sixes and Highlander as well. Because I certainly hope for some more fresh shit into the game, and I like items. What can I say?
Yeah, probably my least favorite day in TF2 history was that first engineer update. Not necessarily because I hated the items, but because no matter what server you went on, it was like eight NGs versus 8 NGs and a bunch of people who didn't know any better.
Trying to get the achievements. I remember Sniper and Spy was pretty terrible as well. I mean, because especially if you're pubbing and you got 6 snipers and 4 spies on your team, it's going to be a dire experience. Although it was fun to go, counter to the meta and run soldier and just kind of destroy everybody,
Yeah, got to rack up the soldier achievements too.
Yeah. So I'm sure once that end of the line drops, it should be pretty awesome. I think was the rumored date the 13th or the 12th or something like that. Who knows? It was probably bogus anyways.
Yeah, that's also the day that Half-Life 3 is being announced.
Oh,
so.
Right. I forgot about that. I'm putting my money on VR Half-Life 3 at this point. That's what I think is going to happen.
It's going to happen in your brain.
Yeah, those Valve guys, they got a lot of technology. They're pretty tricky. Waiting to go here. I don't quite know what's going on with the wait. Looks like maybe somebody was having some lag issues.
Yeah, it happens in the pregame sometimes here. You'll just get... Yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be, but it used to be at the start a lot of the time when you'd first get in an ESEA server. It was like your computer sort of didn't really know if it wanted to play video games yet, so you'd be kind of laggy for a little bit.
Right.
That seems a lot better.
Yep, so not quite sure what the deal is, but 6v6, ESEA Open, should be getting underway pretty soon. I don't think we necessarily have the schedules nailed down for any of our other coverage coming up this week, but we're certainly planning to contribute some more coverage of both the final parts of the ESEA playoffs, as well as the ESEA-O spring cleaning event, or spring classic, spring cleaning. Maybe that was a communities versus pros event. I'm flashing back. But that event has been progressing. Unfortunately, seems like some forfeit wins were handed out, but I know that, ESEA-O wants to progress the tournament, and you can't really blame them for that, and holding to their schedule. So since it was or is a double elimination tournament, hopefully we'll still get a chance to see some awesome games coming out of that event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't so opposed to that because they had issues with their vanilla tournament a year ago, basically with the with teams not showing up on time or whatever, and they kind of cut everybody a break, and it more or less ruined the tournament.
Yeah, it's kind of an issue if you got a time frame that you're really trying to hammer things out and get everything taken care of. And if a team wants to delay, it's just kind of the ripple effect, and pushes things back, and all of a sudden you're not going to be done by the time that you want to be done. So it's understandable. And good that they're sticking to a time frame to kind of get this done before some of the other major events going on.
Yeah, and I should note too, we're going live, but whichever team loses tonight is Dunzo. No more TF2 for them.
Looks like I did get word that IM finals are Thursday, so exact time, maybe 10:30 Eastern, maybe 11, but please tune in on Thursday. I believe we already have Lang on the books for that. But let's get down to business here, as Cafe Monsters have taken the blue, and good old Goldman Sachs in the red here. Watching Julia on this mid-fight. Not much damage thrown out yet, though. Let's see, Big Bomb's coming on. Pressure coming onto the blue medic. Devin is the only player down so far, though. Novuna has also stayed mostly healthy. Mr. Slin also doing fine. But numbers it's kind of a slow fight.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of hiding in choke. That after they lost Devin, they just sort of pulled out, and they never really tried to do too much beyond that. So they just hung around.
Yeah, so it looks like Cafe Monsters are going to get the point here, the capture. Goldman Sachs is trying to move in, and Slin does have to pop the Uber, but this is kind of a weird Uber. Novuna's going to be able to pop here, Crossfire, getting healed back up while invulnerable here, throwing away Mr. Slin, who just barely survives, 8 health. He's got some regen going, and going to back up to the bottle by Spire. Sachs has picked up a few kills, though. Sorry, go ahead, Marxist.
Yeah, I saw Slin get thrown up in the air, but there was just no support there on choke for that. That Mr. Slin could have been had, but they let it go, because that wasn't really the greatest Uber out of Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, it was a little awkward, but right now they've recovered excellently. They're very well healed, and Clandestine just respawning. So they're pushing through choke here. Demoman Huli is out. Slin under duress, and he's got 80%. Taking a lot of damage, but he does survive. Got to get those heals out there, staying with his team. He's got a few up with him. Zigster is down, and Goldfish very ripped up as well. A lot of players hurt. The Uber has come out, though, and it's just a few players left for Cafe Monster. So we got some nice frags in there. Goldfish with the shotgun takes out Sentient. They're going to get the capture here.
Yeah, and they're going to roll it into last even, so we're going to see Goldfish here. They all come out of the close side door, but he's going to get blasted by a scout, so probably going to put a little hitch in the giddy up.
Yeah, Goldfish flushed down the toilet there. Thought he was going to be able to maybe do something, but all those players flooding out, and now Sachs has retreated back to choke. Now that they got players back, they're starting to position forward again and get into a spot where they can kind of poke and prod from.
Yeah, I imagine we'll probably see the Zigster death come in like 10 seconds, somewhere in there, and we'll get that. We'll get to see what sort of magic lies in store for us.
Yeah, it's interesting to see here how he chooses to roll this. If we see a sacrifice or something, we do have Zigster's pushing in now. Had to jump around a bit. Finds a sniper medic in the far right side from the offensive perspective. Just got chewed up by that heavy weapons guy.
Yeah, and then we see Purple Shirt kind of go in for the counter-suicide. He actually gets a pretty long timer out of this, but it's not going to matter, because whatever Zigster's doing, it's going to take him a bit to get there. He's coming back. There we go. So they switched out D-Flame. D-Flame was waiting in the back. That was, I actually cast a process game not too long ago where we saw that going on, and the other team defending got wise to it and started pushing on those 4 people, because you're 2 down when you do that. But I guess we'll just see what we get here.
Yeah, I remember watching that cast and hearing you talk about them pulling back. Certainly it's kind of just a base issue of TF2 when you want to off-class, how do you get it? And a lot of times you see suicides, but going back and holding the door open is one route. D-Flame does survive there, was under quite a bit of duress. Devin also was down to about 10 health, but Goldman Sachs keeping all their members alive right now. And there goes a snipe. Clandestine goes down as D-Flame working, but Slin drops! Wow.
Yeah, dropped in the sticky trap.
Didn't quite see where those came from, or if he had that sitting there for a while, but nice play by Deska. And there we go. Novuna does survive the bomb, does pop, but they're going to push forward here, and with Mr. Slin having nobody to heal, The Ubers will stay even. It's not a slight advantage for Cafe. Even.
Yeah, this should be a solid. Oh, well, it should still be a pretty good second cap. If D-Flame can manage to get anything else, that might break it, but it looks like he's done, yeah. So that's it for him. Probably actually going to see a mid come out of this, because no scouts.
Yeah.
Pretty hard to hold. They're going to lose the soldier, too.
Zigster took a lot of damage. Good work by Purple Shirt, spamming from sewers. Now he's going to get on top of the crates as well with Crossfire. They have really good presence here, and Sachs is basically stuck in between Sewer and Spire. One scout in Sewer, so nothing they can really contest here.
I liked that push in a lot from Blue. You see teams come into mid, and a lot of the time they don't take the crate, and it just boggles my mind. Because when someone's up there, that's it. You have to leave.
As well, you know, the sight lines as well. You know, you can just keep an eye on everything that's going on, and if you're trying to capture the point, you need to know if they are pushing and where they're going to be counter pushing from. Purple Shit gets thrown up in the air, is bombing on Slin. Can't really connect the damage though, and gets taken out. Really got thrown high up there, but Slin, good dodges. Now some pressure from Sachs. Devin poking out a little bit after he came in. Really, the heals are good on both teams, just the one person down for Cafe Monster.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Sachs didn't push into that, but I guess they didn't like how much Blue had backed up. That might end up costing them, because they're just going to get bombed again very shortly.
Yeah, definitely. So Novuna staying back, you know, behind the entrance to Intel. They're going to push forward a little bit. Red just has, you know, one player watching that intel. That was Zigster. Still kind of feeling this out. Oof. Deska barely escaped an air shot there. Just kind of a quick engagement by Goldfish. Purple Shirt coming in here again, but also once more not getting damage done to Slin. Looks like Sachs, they want to get aggro here. You can see it in their positioning. Devin pushing in. Zigster hasn't come through intel yet. D-Flame and company, they get Deska though. That's a great pick.
Yeah, that's going to be it for them defending this. Purple Shirt's still dead. He's just going to come back in now. So as long as they get up here and cover this choke, they'll be fine. And never even had to pop eXtine.
That's how I like to capture points. Now they're ready to keep the pressure up and move in here. Novuna on the backside of Spire. 115 health. Devin getting up top, puts a little bit of hurt on Purple Shirt. D-Flame comes in, but Clandestine cleans him up with some big damage from his flank. Goldfish still in here, but getting thrown away. Not going to be able to connect with Slin as he got pushed too far forward. Slin gets the Uber on to Hooli. They're backing up, but might get caught here. Oh, Slin thrown in the air. He's going to get trapped and gunned down. Oh, actually, no, excuse me. I hate it when I speak early, and Slin was able to sneak out there. I called it, and well, the scouts weren't able to put the damage on him. Slin escapes.
Yeah, a little bit of the chokes there, but you know it happens to the best. So yeah, Slin will live to Slin it up another day, and Devin's being still dead. It looks like Sachs is just going to go ahead and give mid. However, Uber advantages will be equal. So we'll probably just be treated to where we were a little bit ago, where we see the bomb in come in from Purple Shirt.
Yeah, I don't mind this type of TF2. I thoroughly enjoy when we get a nice back and forth. Looks like right now we're gonna have both scouts and the demo man push through the IT, putting pressure on Goldfish. Deska does get him with stickies up top. D-Flame comes in, snags that health pack, and is pushing forward. But Sentient and Deska are gonna rotate back towards the medic and choke side, the more traditional push. Now that they got one kill, want to get in and put some pressure on the combo, kind of backed up through upstairs. Oh, Mr. Slin gets hurt, has to pop that Uber charge, but they still have they'll have more of it left over. Deska down low, dodging Hooli though. Hooli can't keep up with him. Deska staying alive. Novuna putting out good heals. Deska still in there, finally taken out. Hooli gets away, and looks like Goldman Sachs going to be able to recover here. Novuna does escape, but that attack fell apart.
Yeah, Deska was really the only one that managed to accomplish anything there on that push, because he actually piped out the medic too. So if it wasn't for that, this would be holding last with disadvantage.
It was pretty crazy play there by Deska, just doing a great job of dodging Hooli and staying alive, getting some damage spit out. But with all those players going down, they just straight up conceded middle. And we have another flip of the situation. But this is exciting, TF2 to me. We're 0-0, but we're going back and forth on process. And these teams are figuring it out. I mean, nobody's dominant here. And there's a lot of possibilities in how this game could develop.
And especially since your season's on the line, you're a little less prone to just try the let's wander into them strats.
And looks like Sachs is going to push through the far side of sewers. Goldfish getting floated up in the air. He comes down, saved by Slin, who's putting out good heals. Purple shirt very low. He is kind of backed up. Clandestine goes down as well, but Slin taken out by Deska. Here comes the counterattack by Cafe. It's going well so far. D-Flame cannot get into the sewer. Devin's in there as well, but he's going to get caught out, and that is a lot dead. It is just Hooli and Zigster. Hooli kind of getting slightly juggled. He's going to back up, chased by Deska. But Hooli does survive. Zigster is behind enemy lines, going for that back cap. He has the pain train as well, which certainly helps speed it up. Does not get it. Oh, wait, no! Oh, he does get it. Great job. That's actually going to give forward spawns to 3 players, I believe, which means Sachs should be able to hold on to this middle point, at least for now.
Yep, I don't think anybody checked IT, and old pain train roaming Zigster was just hiding in there waiting to... Who on the parade?
Yeah, and that pain train comes through as a roamer item. It's definitely a bit of utility. You take that extra damage from scouts, but it can pay off in a situation just like that. Cafe Monster pushing through computer. They're going hard. They got the scouts out here leading the way. Clandestine chasing down Slin. Slin getting pistoled. Oh my god, 11 health. The regen is ticking, but Slin getting away. Deska chases in, takes out Hooli. But Slin has a scout with him, D-Flame, and survives with 87% Uber charge.
See, this made me kind of sad because I felt like they really ought not to have stacked that point. Yeah, I mean, you deny forwards, but getting Slin here is going to stop this nonsense. Because now this point's blocked.
Yeah, Slin's Uber is going to fade, though, but Cafe isn't really kind of responding with like an immediate counter push. Yeah, they're being a little passive here right now.
Although it will turn out in their favor because they do have the Uber advantage to re-push second. So a little slower style, but it may turn out.
And Sachs was pretty set up at that point, so you know you gotta take the time to do it right. And they are coming in here. Crossfire gets the Uber used on him. It's gonna chase Slin, but Slin is already out. So we might see them just getting the Spire fairly easy here, but not able to really kind of keep the momentum rolling. As Slin has 70%, and Cafe are going to have to attack immediately if they want to get in there before Uber. Deska does go side the doorway. He's getting a little bit of damage out, mainly and just enough to kind of scare everybody back. Slin with 95% under attack does use the Uber charge, though. Cafe has gotten a few frags. They got to stay in here, though, and stay alive for a while. Crossfire up top. He's going to get cleaned out, though. A juggle by Zigster. Big frag. Sitting goes down as well. Deska trying to go man mode. That's not going to work, though.
Yeah, it was a good thought, but when those 2 scouts were dead, they ought to have not stacked. They shouldn't have gotten on the point so much. They should have just gotten in there and spread out, and then maybe... Yeah, it doesn't... I mean, they got the demo right off the bat there, so that should have been easy.
And talking about forward spawns there, Zigster was getting super aggressive, but perhaps if his ×2 was on the point, they would not have gotten forward spawns there. So Cafe is in a solid position to defend this point, although they do have an Uber disadvantage up against Slin here.
Yeah, and right now they enjoy the spawn advantage, holding mid so they can give a player for this if they really need to. You don't want to necessarily. Slin's getting kind of beat up there. D-Flame's down. Devin only had like 1 health. Roamer's jumping back and forth at each other.
Yeah, it's some madness going on here, but it does look like Cafe is surviving. Devin kind of pokes at Novuno, but gets scared off. Cafe still in control of middle. Slin gets thrown around, but does surf it out. Wow. I think maybe if he had landed in a different spot, he could have possibly cratered. He had 15, but made it to the bottle. Fantastic moves in the middle of the air. There you go, Slin.
All that late night surfing practice.
Yep, shout out to Slin and his streaming. Always does a great job. I love watching him, and he's just a great member of the community. Right now, though, Crossfire and Cafe moving in with this Uber charge. Deska up top, trying to get some damage on Huli. Huli gets bounced around, but still surviving. Now Purple Shirt coming in. Slin is down with Sentient taking him out. Oh, Ubersaw out. Novuno hits Huli, backing up though, very damaged, 22 health, round the corner. D-Flame though, needs to get scratched down by somebody. He's going to snag the health pack though, as it spawns up in sewers. 57 health, he's the only one alive, but they kind of have to deal with it. They can't have him lurking around Novuna, so they get the kill there, but now Zigster, Goldfish up, and they're with Mr. Slin. So 2 soldiers and a medic against 2 scouts and a medic. I don't think these scouts are going to be able to capture the point. They're trying to pressure it still. Bless their hearts, but the rockets are going to hurt here.
Yeah, standing in choke was the not the best choice. If they'd have gotten on the point, you're a scout in the air versus a soldier, and that's the soldier, like, he can spam long range rockets at you.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
If he jumps at you, he instantly dies.
Crossfire jumps across, brings Novuna with him. Looks like Sax is going to back up. Just kind of, they had the respawns, but those players weren't necessarily in place. So they have 6. They will have an Uber to defend, and we still do not have a successful capture. So Cafe Monster, can they do it? Crossfire comes in, throws Slin actually towards the second point. Slin's going to surf that. Crossfire's up top, but he's alone. He's got to come out with the rest of his players. Can they get pressure on Slin? Sentient's out as well, hammering away from Huli at the side, but I don't think this is going to last. Sentient goes down after getting a kill on Huli, and Sax should just be able to cleanly push out here.
Yeah, it feels to me like Cafe's last pushes just aren't very coordinated. They get a lot of people in behind him. I don't think Novuna's gotten out yet. Like, they just get swallowed when they try to push in.
And yeah, they can't quite get Crossfire in a good position. I don't know if they need to try the far outside push. Let's see right now, actually, Purple Shirt going to come out the door here. Nobody sees him. Great bomb on Slin, and there you go, just like that. Zigster saw him late. Sentient rushing in here to try to get some follow-up as well. He's got a lot of players tied up, but needs some assistance from his teammates. Crossfire now comes in to try to help with Devon. D-Flame in here fighting. Chased by Sentient, who's kind of scratching away. Not a whole lot of damage. Does get D-Flame as D-Flame tries to go into sewers. Novuna under attack by Zigster, who jumps over the rock. Oh, and gets him with his last rocket before he goes down. Slin is up, but Huli is the only player on middle. Oh, man. Sees those stickies on the ground right in time, but Sentient from behind. That is an easy target. They're going to get the capture, but Slin and Devon on second point with a few players spawning soon here. Purple Shirt getting forward, but I don't think they'll actually be able to capture this. Not for free.
They're not set up particularly well, and we have a scout running around on middle. I wouldn't have minded seeing it, just to sort of feel it out. It's still a 0-0 game, so like, if you're going to experiment, you may as well do it now. But, yeah, they're just going to let it stabilize here. Uber advantage, it's probably marginal. I don't think we're going to see Slin's advantage come into play, so we'll probably get to see the, like, 5th edition of Purple Shirt.
And I don't have the server map time on my HUD because this is an ESEA game, but I believe we're 18 minutes into this. So over halfway in this first half, no points captured yet. And we do have a jump come in.
Crits.
Wow, crits. And Deska gets one to start it off. The stickies kind of threw things off as the players were coming in for Cafe. And Slin with this Uber charge does really kind of help out his teammates. They've lost a couple players, though, in the follow-up. But it's only 3 up for Cafe, and Novuna hasn't been healing anybody. So he got totally disconnected, nobody running out with him. And that's part of the dynamic of Kritzkrieg. Now they're kind of stuck on it, but if they can get, you know, kind of reset up and they can push aggressively as soon as they get the charge, then perhaps they can get a drop out of Slin. And actually, before he has it even.
Yeah, they could, if he'd have stayed connected there, this advantage that he's going to have would be a lot higher, because as it stands right now, he's gonna, like, they're gonna have to pop it the second they get it in order for it to be effective.
Yeah, it's very close. They're gonna get 90% here. They are going super aggressive here, but he's got to get Deska ready to go here. They are charged, and Slin's viewable. Oh, he gets Uber though. Wow, just in the nick of time. Novuna's gonna go down. No problem for Goldfish, but Purple Shirt comes back out, gets Slin. The fight is still on, but it is not going well for Cafe. Sentient not going to be able to do enough. Clandestine getting chased. He goes down. Deska once again, trying to just man fight the whole team, but not going to be able to do anything there. And overall, well, they did take a risk with that Kritzkrieg, but might be the straw that broke the camel's back and finally opened up a score here. Sachs, though, still does have to get in here. They still have to close the deal. We have 2 more spawns coming in, but I think they're going to be too late. There we go. Goldman Sachs wins the very long first round. We're going to keep our eyes on Hooli as we roll out here. 10 minutes left in this half. Marxist, some thoughts there?
It's really back and forth around there. A lot of failed last pushes out of Cafe. They're going to have to fix that if they want to win this.
Definitely. Hooli with 115 health right now. He's got some good stickies pinpointing where the other team is, but he's down low health right now. Needs an arrow, but Slin's just rotating, getting the heals on him now. Other players going down, though, in the meantime for Sachs. Hooli has to back up.
Yeah, Cafe seems to be doing pretty good here. Oh, no, I think that was Navuna. Yeah, there we go. Surfing out of it with 19 health. Looks like he hasn't tried to pull any of his crits to mid shenanigans. But
Yeah.
might stabilize here because of these spawns. But if it looks like they're going to try for it, Deska's already moving in.
Yeah, they got a pretty good spot here. Slin will be able to get the Uber charge, though, as he survived and got away no problem. Looks like Red is pretty well spread out and kind of just covering the doors. I want to see Cafe either go, you know, kind of, I don't know, far right, far left. They can't up the gut. They've just been getting shut down on the door. Deska does get down.
Yeah, that should, I mean, that's, why not?
Right, yeah, open things up. You just got to kill. They are going to come out the lower middle door. Crossfire gets the Uber. Again, though, kind of slow to get Slin to pop here. The Uber charge almost completely gone by the time that Slin actually uses. There goes Purple Shirt, and Cafe just going to back out. Well, they should have backed out, excuse me. So they're getting cleaned up.
Yeah, I don't know what the objective of that Uber was. Like, why is your Uber chasing a sniper frag on your initial push-in? So that's just going to give you a rough life. And I don't think Navuna really had a bunch of people passing him when he came in, so he just got owned.
Yeah, definitely kind of a weird attempt. They had to get out there. And Purple Shirt bombing in now puts half damage on Slim, but he's just going to pick up that pack. So really nothing accomplished with that loss of life, unfortunately. And Goldman Sachs looking to turn this around and push back. Another bad push from Cafe on the last point. You know, they're controlling the field, they're getting the territory back, but you got to be able to score a goal here. Sixter with a double jump off the wall, gets in close on Deska, doesn't put a lot of damage though on him, as now Goldfish tries to jump in, actually runs into the wall. Hooli though doing damage, gets Crossfire and Deska chasing Novuna, but can't. Now Hooli's stuck on the side, but we got the flank from Goldfish, cleans up Novuna in Sen, and looks like the floodgates are open. Clandestine gonna spawn here. We got the taunt out by Goldfish though, and no chance for Clandestine to get out there. 2-0 now, as well, we might actually get to an earned halftime here. Possibility is there. 7 minutes. The second round quite a bit faster. We'll see if Cafe not only can make this middle fight work, but just, you know, put it all together and get some frags, get some momentum, and get into last. Jump comes in. Novuna sees it clearly though. He's still playing pretty safe. Purple Shirt is down though, but they have killed both the scouts for Sachs. And staying back and staying healthy. Sachs actually does have more heals right now. Quite a bit more health. As Cafe losing players, Novuna getting out of there, turning around and running. Sentient still in. That's it though. Actually, Novuna turning back in. No, please don't do that. Yeah, get away. Get away.
You worried me with those crossbow bolts. That's I'm gonna do some psychological analysis there. When your medic feels out of place, they start doing things like that, and that makes me nervous.
Yeah, I think understandably so. I mean, I like to do a lot of arrows, but it's just kind of, I talk to people, just generally esports, I don't know, general sports thing. If you're gonna make a decision, you got to commit to it. And he decided to run, and he needed to just run. Now Sachs pressuring in here. Novuna does have the Uber charge. Eats a rocket before he pops though, which could certainly hurt him on the other side. But looks like they are going to give him a little bit of space as Cafe comes out of these Ubers. Crossfire though actually pretty low. heals are even for both teams at the moment, as players fighting in the sewers, fighting on the choke. Mr. Slynn in sewers kind of alone for a second there. A little bit weird, very far forward to just buff Devin, but sometimes, you know, you just gotta get up to the front line and distribute some heals.
Yeah, a buff scout is always a good thing. So I don't know, like on this map, a straight sewer push I really like. It could, especially in that moment there too, when no Ubers were going to be involved.
Slightly quicker Uber from Novuna. Zigster's going to jump in here. This could just be a suicide attempt to try to get the pop. Novuna pressured, does throw it out. I can't really blame that pop though. It looks like they're going to have trouble getting in to get Slynn to pressure. Crossfire is up! Oh my god! Crossfire jumps in. Slynn drops. So no pop from Goldman Sachs. Instead, they hold onto those stocks a little too long and suffer some financial consequences. Goldfish moving in here though. Novuna with an opportunity for an Uber saw, instead just going to keep the heals on his scouts. Probably for the best as they stay up. They're going to get the capture here on middle. Devin will get the forward spawn. Probably not the same though for Hooli, Goldfish, and D-Flame.
Yeah, and with no demo there, I mean, yeah, Deska is not going to really be a factor here, but without Hooli, it's a lot easier for these little scooties to get in here and take their prime position on top of that point.
Yeah, they're getting aggressive here. Both scouts on the point. Novuna, kind of treacherous, but oh, here comes Zigster from sewer. Nobody had checked it. Novuna barely surviving for now, but D-Flame cleans it up. Zigster, what a play. I had my back to the sewers the whole time, so I didn't even see his outline in there. But great patience, and well, it showed up at just the perfect time. And Cafe kind of wants to push forward here, but they got to be careful. This has been their problem, pushing last.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid attempt at doing something different to just like try and get in here and clean Slim, but they're trading their whole team, which is not good. Like they had 2 or 3 people just kind of go into that with almost 0% chance of success.
Yeah, that was pretty sloppy. Maybe perhaps they, you know, just kind of getting a little frustrated and felt like they could make things happen there. But as they just kind of kept bleeding players in there, there's just no way that they could sustain that offense as well as sustain the defense of the second point. You know, Novuna is not going to hold off 5 players waiting for spawns. It'd be impressive.
Certainly try, though.
Yeah, it'd be impressive. They're pushing forward here. Goldfish jumping in with this Uber charge. Kind of stick Crossfire in the corner and dealing with him pretty nicely. But Goldfish is a little exposed out in the open and taken out. But they are getting frags as D-Flame picks up 2. Then picks the health pack to stay in there. But Clandestine will finish him off. It's just 3 though, as it's Novuna, Clandestine, and Deska. Slin's not necessarily the most healthy either. But they are pushing in here. Devin gets Deska. That's going to help things out. Zigster jumping in here, but not doing much damage. He goes down. And Hooli looks like he might get cleaned up. Slyn also down. So now it is Goldman Sachs' time to over-invest and get cleaned up. Just D-Flame, and oh my god, he gets cleaned out. Devin spawning. This is an easy cap for Cafe Monster.
Yeah, Zigster learned the all too powerful lesson that if the scout is looking at you, you cannot jump at him or he will die.
Yeah, and again, this ESEA timers don't really show up, so I've lost a little bit of track. I don't have my stopwatch with me, and perhaps that's one of the reasons that Sachs overcommitted there. They're not afraid of the clock. Novuna getting bombed by Zigster, who's just all over the place here. So they're going to pop the Uber and move forward. Try to get Slim. They do get Slim by Deska. That's nice. That allows them to kind of chill out and get the second point and concentrate on that. But Zigster is going to jump in here. Great timing on that bomb again. Novuna barely staying alive. Rockets coming out, and the scout as well. Oh my, Sachs cleaning up.
Yeah, that was a really good play. It was one of those deals where like, okay, our medic's dead. Someone count to 3. We're all going in. And they did it all at once, and it was completely overwhelming.
Yeah, Sachs have a realistic possibility to get a 3rd point here as they take the Spire, and they're going to have a quarter Uber advantage, and that's certainly enough that if you're like, oh, let's move out, you know, as soon as we get it, and you just kind of casually move forward, you should be able to kind of get some pressure on the medic before he has it, and surely they'll do that.
Yeah, it seems like they're building a lot more effectively too. So they what should have been a pretty tiny advantage is actually getting pretty bloated.
Yeah, it's like 40% now. It was 25% when I first called it out. So they are going to move out here and get in. They pop the Uber as soon as Slin gets out, and the Heavy is getting ripped up. A couple frags coming out here for Cafe Monster. There goes Slin. The fight is not claimed. Hooley's in here. 128. Oh, Crossfire, 16 health. Survives. And, well, that's the end of the half. So I was very close to Goldman Sachs getting a third point there. Keeping it 2-0 does kind of make it a lot more possible for Cafe Monster to perhaps stay in business.
Yeah, they managed to close on 2 rounds there to Goldman Sachs, but it felt like a lot of the 2 rounds that they got were pretty much given to them by Cafe Monsters. Just really pretty bad last pushes.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, and it's kind of as the game continues and progresses forward, it only gets more and more desperate. If Goldman Sachs hasn't scored yet, which is kind of the situation for most of the first half, if they haven't scored yet, then you can be content to kind of be back and forth, and you don't have to sweat too much the fact that you haven't actually capped the point and finished a capture. But now that Goldman Sachs has scored a couple, it's a different scenario. You can't just sit back and be like, well, we haven't captured last, but we have middle. Now it's more of a desperation of like, oh man, we have to get points. We have to finish these pushes and get in there and clear everybody off. But they've been having problems doing that, and their last pushes in that first half were certainly more desperate. And that's when things get in trouble, especially as we mentioned, you have a newer medic in here with the team, and that's where things start to kind of fall apart as well. It's kind of the quarterback syndrome. I saw an interesting stat. I'll throw out a football stat here, but it was like Aaron Rodgers and, the opportunities that he has to do a fourth quarter drive and win the game. He's like 6 for 22 or something like that. It's a terrible stat. And, right now, Cafe, they have to get points on the board. And now that you have Novuna leading the charge and directing people and possibly saying, let's Uber in this way, let's Uber in that way. Now that you're in this really tough scenario, the pressure's on, you have the backup medic. That makes a whole lot more difference, and he's got to step it up, and his team have to capture points. And I think just believe in themselves. Besides, specifics about last point, they just have to believe in themselves. They can't doubt themselves because of their struggles to capture last.
Yeah, it's one of the best things that I ever really got out as a team leader in ESEA was if you go into a match thinking that it's going to be hard or bad, you're going to have a bad day.
Yeah. I mean, it's very psychological. I believe in the psychology of sports and the impact that has. And you got to have a positive outlook, and you got to visualize success. And as we start this second half, let's see what Deska can do here. Because I think Deska, has been a big part of this. He's made some big plays, but he's got to have support. He can't do it by himself. He's under pressure right now, surviving, though, for now. Getting good heals while he's still throwing out some pipes. Zigster went down, and the fight continues here. Goldfish, though, right in the front of Deska. He couldn't get damage out right when he needed it. And this is definitely going Goldman Sachs' way. Novuna escapes with 64%, but Slin and company get the job done.
Yeah, not exactly what you want to see if you're Cafe, because this is going to entail a few minutes, precious minutes in this case, especially how this match is being played, of sitting at last, but it looks like they may actually be coming in next time.
Yeah, very quick move. Goldfish clears the stickies on the point, just is going to stand on there waiting to use that Uber as long as possible. Now Zigster comes in with that pain train. Wow, very quick first round in the second half, and after what was close to a 20-minute round without any captures, now all of a sudden we have our first one here in a minute 18. Extremely fast. So 3-0 the score for Goldman Sachs. Deska moving in, takes the health back, but also takes a sticky. An arrow heal missed him just barely as well, so perhaps not as healthy as he could be. Health pretty close. Sachs kind of getting the worst of it, though, right now. And it looks like Deska does go down. It is 3-on-2. Slin and Hooli, they have backed out, though. They've gotten away. Cafe going to be able to take the middle here, but now they are 3 rounds back. At least they have an Uber charge and, well, can get ready to push into second here. Looks like we did have a stream crash, so apologies for TF2 going down, but, well, that's one of the things that TF2 does best. And we will be back in the game as soon as possible. Looks like Dashner already on his way. So to recap, Cafe wins mid. They're posted up right now. I'm sure we will be back in the game by the time they're actually pushing here. Zigster on Intel's side, actually with Mr. Slin just pokes over to give him a buff. While it looks like Cafe sitting in choke right now. Goldfish spots everybody, throws a couple rockets their way.
Yeah, I like how Slin plays this a little bit. More people... Oh, well, D-Flame's going to go down. As the bomb comes in, it gets on top of Slin, but not going to do it.
Yeah, Purple Shirt has had some tough bombs where, you know, some opportunities where it really seems like he should be able to get some damage on Slin, but Slin able to escape without a scratch. Slin moving in here right on top with Goldfish. Able to hold the Uber for a while. Novuna actually does the same as well. So Deska pushes back out here. Captures Hooli. They're going to be able to trap Slin. Actually goes for a melee there. Perhaps not the wisest of moves. Slin does go down to Sentient. Devin standing tall, though, and fighting. This Clandestine takes a lot of damage. And Cafe pushing here. I think another thing that could be pretty clutch is if Cafe can actually just push straight through. Not even have to get a proper push on the last. Right now, that's definitely a possibility. Slin gets an early spawn. 5 seconds for Goldfish. 12 seconds for 2 more players. And Cafe has to get in here. Sending players. Clandestine on the point. Slin and Hooli getting stretched thin. Slin, there we go. Taken out. Hooli being floated. He goes down. Zigster standing. And that's going to be a round for Cafe Monster. There we go. Well, crushing them so bad on second, they only have half the players alive for a defensive last is a pretty good strategy. I think it'll work well for Cafe Monster if they can keep doing that.
Yep, good roll from second to last. Never hurt anybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's the clean pushes, or sorry, the straight up pushes they're definitely struggling with. If they can just take momentum forward, they'll work out. Deska hits a pipe to Zigster's face, then gets finished off by pistols from Sentient. Purple Shirt down early. Slin had gotten banged up, though, so at least some damage thrown out his way. Goldfish puts out good damage. Or sorry, Deska puts out good damage on Goldfish. And that's going to be another mid the way of Cafe.
Yeah, I really like that mid from Cafe. They were all over Goldman Sachs like a bunch of OWS protesters.
Yeah, but then again, maybe like the OWS, they're going to be oppressed and, you know, eliminated essentially from public view. That could be the case if Cafe Monster can't pull together a couple more rounds here. They are tied in the second half, but they did concede 2 rounds in the first half. Purple Shirt bombing again, but once again, Slin escapes with the vast majority of his health. Really only took like 30 damage total there. It's not really a fair trade for a soldier.
Yeah, at this point, it's basically a reverse pick strat is what they're going for.
Yeah, lure him into a false sense of security. But Cafe is going to have to persevere as his Uber fades. Slin actually has the better one, though. Had it going for a little bit longer. There goes Sentient. Crossfire down as well. Deska has to whip out the melee. Gets shotgunned down, though. As a Novuna and Purple Shirt. The last one's up for Cafe Monster. It's a perspective, and all of a sudden, Novuna's standing in front of him.
Yeah, and then he's gone, and this round is gone as well.
Yeah, that's going to take the total score line to a 4-1 total. Cafe Monster again, kind of struggling. We're going to keep an eye on Purple Shirt. He hasn't been hitting these bombs that he needs to, and well, I don't know. They've kind of also shut up Zigster a little bit. But if they can get some good plays here from Purple Shirt in this middle fight, that could lead him, well, at least to the middle victory. That is step 1, however. Purple Shirt bombing over, hasn't found anybody yet, is going to be attacked by Zigster from behind. So that's going to take him out, no problem. Rest of the mid still up in the air. Hooli kind of banged up. and they're getting pushed back into sewer. Crossfire kind of wants to go in, sees D-Flame, and scratches him down with the shotgun. Pressure on Slin in Hooli, but Hooli with a big pipe takes out Clandestine. And, well, Cafe has some players on the points. Slin and Hooli thought about it, but they're going to back up now. Scout flanking from the side. Hooli, though, good pressure as Devin comes in from the side to clean that up. And there goes Crossfire throwing the bomb out, but he is down. And, man, I mean, they won the middle. Well, actually, technically, no, they didn't. They didn't finish the capture. And it's just gotten worse from there.
It was a unity problem. Like, in that situation, you've got one of two choices. Cap the point, let Slin go, or both attack Slin at the same time. And it seems like there was a little bit of an argument about which of those two things they ought to do.
Mm-hmm. And you can't be indecisive. You got to make clean, crisp decisions and make them quick. Just like Goldman Sachs are doing, where they want to pressure. They're going to be in here before Cafe expects it. They can get a kill on Novuna. They can pretty much set up victory. And there goes Zigster. The kill's coming out here. Purple shirt and Sentient. Now just Sentient. But Sentient beings crushed out as Goldman Sachs come in and clean up Cafe Monster. Players just jumping right out immediately. Not waiting around for it. I'm not sure if there was even a GG thrown out there before that player left. Now, of course, though, GGs are extended from both teams. And Goldman Sachs putting on a pretty strong performance there. Marxist, some thoughts from you, man?
Yeah, I was a little worried about the little bubble that developed there when Cafe sort of rolled around. But it looks like Goldman Sachs got a nice handy bailout there and just got it through. I felt like Cafe... They showed moments, especially in mids, where they were a good team that got here on some nice Emeritus play. But it seemed like they were really disunited at times tonight. So they took their eye off the ball, basically, to use a sports cliche.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good one. I think that I agree with that. Cafe Monster couldn't really get the customers in, couldn't really get the business plan rolling, and just like that, the Cafe Monster has disappeared, no longer in the playoffs, but they do take home a top 3 finish, 3rd place, so very respectable in what was a contentious division. Unfortunately, though, not able to pull it off. Goldman Sachs proving too big to fail, at least for tonight. We will have to see in the grand finals up against Arizona Iced Out Boys if well, they can deliver some penalties for the financial actions of Goldman Sachs. We'll keep the jokes rolling because it's just too easy. But congratulations to them for successfully taking this match. Marxist, thanks for joining me. It was a pleasure. Any shout-outs, final words from you, man?
Nah, I think I'm pretty happy. I'll be excited to be able to turn my AC back on next time.
Myself as well. I can't forget to do that. Otherwise, I will be hearing from the missus. And we had a fun time tonight. Again, super pat on the back for our cameraman, Dashner. Going big, putting the work in, and doing a fantastic job. Couldn't have done this without you. And, well, we'll be back at it again on Thursday, maybe having some other, slim possibility that we might have some other casts midweek. I'm not sure if there's another I-52 show match series this Saturday. I hope there is. There is the Tumblr versus Reddit show matches. Might screw this up. Let me make sure we get this right. Let's see. Saturday is going to be the East Coast Tumblr versus Reddit, and that's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then on Sunday, we're going to have the West Coast Tumblr versus Reddit, and that's going to be on 4 p.m. Pacific. So tune in to eXtv for those. And casts are still to be determined, but Getaway will be involved with it. I know that I'll be involved in the production for the Sunday night event. Perhaps, probably not Saturday night, though, to be honest. So look forward to seeing you guys there. Thanks again for tuning in. And, well, I am eXtine, and we will see you next time. Peace out!
Yeah.